Time block management is one of those successful habits that every successful business person uses. People like Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Tony Robbins, Richard Branson. I'm sure every successful entrepreneur, business person, politician out there uses some form of time block management to get through their busy days. Without it, you're basically a victim of your circumstances. So I'm going to go through a couple of things. In this first module, I'm just going to talk about the structure of what goes into my day and how I structure it. And then you can adapt it to your day and how your day flows. And then I'm going to talk a little bit more about what we work around this process as both a left or right brain activity and movement throughout the day. So, I don't know what time your day starts, and this is where it gets kind of personal. I've got some friends who are up at 5 a.m. to commute into the big city for work, and they have to find ways to incorporate both exercise and personal development time and everything else they've got going on in their lives in and around how they commute into work. So depending on what your circumstances are at work, this is going to take a little bit of time and effort on your part, but what this is what an ideal day would look like. Now, there are many days where the you-know-what hits the fan and we got to throw this out the window, but that's where our anchor activities come in. So I'm going to put something down here as an anchor activity. We're going to say exercise is an anchor activity. We're going to say that personal development is an anchor activity. And for me, we're going to say social media is an anchor activity. Now, these activities go in this order: 1, 2, and 3 for me. So here's how my day normally goes. I get up just before 7 a.m. and I exercise for an hour. That gets all the positive momentum flowing in my brain. There's a great book by Dr. John Ratty called Spark. This was actually given to me by a high school teacher of special needs kids who went through one of my training programs and said, have you read this book? You've got to read this book. Everything you're talking about is what research has proven about mental health, movement throughout the day, and our brain activity. So this is an awesome book. Dr. Ratty has his own TED Talk on the internet that you can go ahead and watch, and you can get his word-on-word perspective of what he feels exercise can do for you in your life. But for me, I make exercise my first non-negotiable anchor activity of the day. So I get up and I work out between 7 and 8 a.m. every morning. Quickly have a shower and I'm on to personal development. So I spend an hour either reading a book, watching a TED Talk, reading an article, doing some form of learning every single day, because I want to make sure that that growth mindset keeps that curiosity moving forward. I'm always looking to be 1% better. So personal development time between 8 and 9. 9 a.m. I know this is going to be tough for a lot of people. I only check my email 3 times a day. First time is between 9 and 10 a.m. in the morning. That's the first time I look at it. I address anything. Remember, your inbox is somebody else's agenda for your day. So if you're constantly looking at your cell phone and looking at your inbox on your computer, constantly checking what's going on and who's trying to contact you, then you're being controlled by somebody else and you're not going to be very productive in your day. Now, I get it if you're in a customer service role and that's your job to answer emails, that's different. That's why I said this has to be customized. But based on the role that you play and the importance of emails coming into you, I would suggest that if your job is to get meaningful work done, that you have to prioritize when you're going to do that meaningful work so that it does get done and doesn't get interrupted throughout the day. So I use 9 to 10 o'clock to do my email in, check those, and respond to emails. 10 to 11 o'clock is what we call meetings, cold calls, client research, these sorts of things. 12 o'clock is lunch, go for a walk. 1 o'clock, I check my inbox again, 1 to 2, to see what's been happening throughout the day. If there's any hot priorities, I keep on top of them. 2 to 3 is meetings and calls again. Then 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. This is the only time of the day that I check social media. And I do a lot of leveraging on LinkedIn. I connect with people on LinkedIn. I post thought leadership articles once a week on LinkedIn. Sometimes I use that personal development time to write those articles that go back and get posted onto LinkedIn. But I use that as personal development. When I'm writing an article, I'm developing my writing skills. I consider that personal development time. So from 4 to 5 o'clock, I'm on social media, making sure that I'm looking at what my customers might be doing on social media. Whatever it is I'm looking at, that's the time I'm using to look at it. This time in here between 10 and 11 and 2 and 3, I might be on the internet doing research about a client, but I'm not on social media trying to find out whatever it is, takes me down whatever rabbit hole I'm going down. And then 5 o'clock again is personal development. Now, let's say your day goes awry, maybe you're traveling for business, maybe you're at a conference, and this whole thing gets tossed out the window. That's fine. Those days are going to happen. That's when your streaks come to an end and you got to reboot into the next week. But what is not non-negotiable? Exercise. I don't care where I am in the world, even if I'm on a plane doing a 12-hour flight to China, I can still go to the back of the plane and I can still do a number of exercises that are going to keep my blood flowing, which is really important if you're flying. I can also use that time in the evenings. So let's say, for example, I like to work out in the mornings. Well, I can then go, okay, my morning shot, I'm traveling from 4 a.m. to 3 o'clock, back to the hotel, have dinner with a client. You know what? I'm going to eat appropriately so that at even 10, 11 o'clock, I'm going to jump on a spin bike. I'm going to make sure I'm at a hotel that's got a spin bike so that I can get my workout in. This to me is a non-negotiable. I made that commitment to myself 12 years ago. And for those of you who've got my journal, the sample journal in here, I think the commitment to my exercise days is at 4,921 days. It's true, I haven't missed a workout for 12 years. I've worked out every single day for 12 years. So fun little fact there. And then number 2 is a non-negotiable. I do try to get on, I do some form of personal development every day. And then my third non-negotiable workout or anchor activity is going to be my social media connections. So I do these things because I'm trying to propel my movement forward. Everything I do on social media is about moving that movement forward, connecting with like-minded people and trying to grow that vision that I have for that future world. So in a moment, in our next module, I'm going to review how we look at moving throughout the day and whether these are left or right-brained activities.